Oh, you can't find this in the store.
Yeah, let's get
Not
it.
this, baby. This right here. This is customized. You better get like me.
I gave birth to a ginger, and here's proof. That's my ginger. And there he is a little younger. And now I've been hearing all this talk on TikTok about how gingers are actually black people, and I'm here to say that is 100% true, okay?
So guys, this video of young black girls with red hair went viral, and guess what? For those who don't know, gingers are people with red hair, but you know, they are commonly white people. I for one, I had never seen a black person with red hair. So these white people with red hair, the gingers, are coming out celebrating, happy that they have found their tribe, that they are black. Now they identify as black. Oh my goodness, their reactions are so heartwarming. Oh my god, it's just, I just felt like, you know, the world can sometimes be too serious. And when I was watching this video, I was like, you know, I need to share this with my people, you know, to have a light moment. Life doesn't have to be too serious all the time. So this is gonna be a light video. I'm not gonna talk too much because some of you say I talk too much. I'm not gonna do any commentary on this video. It's just a light moment to see what these people say, how happy they were. I don't know, I just felt like I had to share it with you guys. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting your girl, and if you're new, please go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. See you in the next video. Bye.
I gave birth to a ginger, and here's proof. That's my ginger. And there he is a little younger. And now I've been hearing all this talk on TikTok about how gingers are actually black people, and I'm here to say that is 100% true, okay? I knew this for a long time. I've known this like since I was little. My great-grandmother on my mom's dad's side is half black, which means my great-great-grandfather was black. My son is the only one in our family who is a ginger, and we didn't know where he got his red hair. That has to be where. I mean, he has the personality of one. He's got the characteristics of a black person. He can get along with black people better than white people. He's got that personality. He's very humble, but don't piss him off, okay? Don't piss him off. And I've known this for a very long time. So I'm here to say that gingers are black people. I mean, it's true. I have one. I can vouch for it, okay?
All right, as a ginger, I'm going to chime in on this thing about whether or not gingers are black. And I can tell you specifically, this ginger for damn sure has black in him. As a matter of fact, it originates from Congolese and Angolan from about 3,000 years ago. I traced the genealogy for myself and my family based on these genetic apps. And at first I was like, ain't no way. But then again, I started talking to some of my family where I grew up, and it all makes sense. And there are black people in my family. Genetically, black people in my family. It all makes sense. That's the reason why I am different from a lot of white people. A lot of my physical features are different. My hair naturally doesn't look this way. My beard naturally doesn't look this way. None of this looks this way. The amount of work that I have to put into my hair to get it to straighten out, like naturally, like I straightened it today. Naturally, it's already wanting to curl back up. It is hell that I play with this hair. So this is true. This is true. For this one specifically, I can tell you that it is true. I often wondered whenever I was a kid why my dating preference was black girls whenever I was little. My very first girlfriend was black. My daughter, she's been dating black boys since 3rd grade. Naturally, she just gravitates toward them. My sons naturally gravitate toward black girls. It just is what it is. So yeah, all of us tied back to that I can't speak on. But I can tell you, me specifically, and everyone that I grew up around who happens to be light skinned but ginger, every single one of us have black features. You could just tell by looking at us. And I have people hopping up in my comments. They're like, oh my God, you look like us. And I'm like, I know. I know. It's exciting. I love it. And I'm glad to be here.
If you're brand new to the Gingers Are Black phenomenon, I'm here to orient you as quickly as I can. At the beginning of May, a Black woman creator on TikTok said, "Gingers are black," emphatically, and then made a case for it. And then a bunch of Black creators were like, I co-sign on this. Absolutely they are. Gingers are black. And a bunch started making genetic arguments, historical arguments. Like, people, if you really go down the rabbit hole, you will see there's actually quite a lot of overlap. But even all of that aside, a lot of people in the Black community said, they're black because we say they are. We have adopted them into the family, and that's that. We love them forever. We ride for them. That's it. And then all the redheads were like, yes! Someone picked us finally! We've been bullied our whole childhoods. We've been made fun of. We've been made to feel a bit different within the white community. And now there's like this group that are appreciating us so deeply and so heavily and saying that we are beautiful and lovely and, you know, to hold our heads high. They're renaming us. So instead of Ginger and Carrot Top and Fire Crotch and all of those other awful nicknames that we've been given, they're like, you guys are Red Velvet kings and queens now. Cinnamon Kisses. I'm trying to think. Some of the nicknames are so adorable. And redheaded people came out of the woodwork, like a lot of them posting their very first videos ever, telling their stories about how they were bullied growing up as a kid. Because there's only 2% of redheads. We're very conspicuous. Now, yes, do some people compliment our hair? Absolutely. But do we also get targeted and bullied, especially as children when, you know, they look for anything to go after you for? A lot of us had some bullying, and some people had some intense bullying, especially like if you go back a few generations where like bullying in general was worse and the violence was allowed within the classrooms, but it's still happening today. And so we were sharing our stories, and a lot of people in the Black community were like, we had no idea that this was going on to you. And honestly, I don't know if this isn't really talked about. This was something that I think me growing up as a redhead, I just kind of expected the comments as just part of the redhead experience. I was like, I guess I just gotta take this. And the fact that the Black community was like, oh no, this is not okay. Like that's the first time that has been so emphatically stated over and over again, that this is awful and heartbreaking and should never ever happen. And so these Black creators doubled down and they're like, oh my gosh, especially if this is what's been happening to you guys, you're in with us now. That's it. This is not a trend. We're serious. We're bringing you into the fold. And the redheads were like, we accept. We're so excited. Where are we meeting up? Now, I want to be clear that the redheads are hyper aware that we are white-skinned people with all the privileges that come with that. And I think us redheads are humbled about the outpouring of empathy and sadness and outrage coming from the Black community about what we've been through when we know that our individual bullying doesn't even scratch the surface of like the generations of systemic violence against the Black community. So the fact that they are highlighting our story is, we are humbled by it, and we are so ready to give back as much as we possibly can. We're like, okay, we're all now family. How do we ride for our family? How do we help grant access to our family now that anything they couldn't access because of white supremacy or white privilege or all of the systemic discrimination and biases? Like, how do we start to be part of the solution of dismantling that? Because we know it's kind of a radical thing to say gingers are black. I know it sounds outrageous to people the first time they hear it. And that's kind of the point. Because first of all, the concept of race is socially constructed and made up. And all of it was created to uphold white supremacy. But if you think about it, like these categories of white or black, I mean, look around you out in the world, all of the variations of complexion within the white community and all of the variations of complexion within the Black community or the biracial community. Like, the fact that we just tip people either black or white and then treat them differently accordingly is crazy. And it is arbitrary. There were moments in history when the Irish immigrants coming over were not considered white. And in fact, they actually lived amongst people of all different colors and backgrounds that were also being oppressed, subjugated, discriminated against by this white majority. So if they were doing that in history of changing who's white and who's not, whatever, why can't we do it now? So if the Black community says the whitest, palest of you guys are now Black, we've just decided, and if we accept, okay, it starts to subvert this whole stupid thing that we call race. Cultural identity is real, our histories are real, our ancestry is real. Okay, so I'm not negating any of that, and I think we each need to celebrate that within ourselves and then celebrate other people's and learn about other people's ancestry and history and all those things. So it is more of this, the concept of race as it was created to promote and uphold white supremacy. That's what we need to subvert. In terms of each of our individual differences and the things that we bring, we're going to celebrate and highlight that and hold space for that and not encroach on each other's stuff and not co-opt each other's culture. You know, it's none of that. It's just love. Now, I will acknowledge that this has been a kind of triggering thing for a lot of people on every side of this issue. I know us gingers have been treading lightly because we are aware of the generational trauma, and we're floored like you would trust us to come into your homes given what Black folks have been through and all of the betrayals that they have experienced of white folks promising to help or do something and then not helping and not following through. So we are really aware of that. And, you know, anyone who's having a hard time with this, especially in the Black community, we give so much respect to that, and we don't blame you. And for the white folks that are triggered or upset by this, I really ask you to do your research, dig into the history of race relations. If you're like, this is crazy, gingers can't be Black, this is going to stretch your mind. This is going to break our brains a little bit in a good way. Because I guarantee you it's the people that are like, I don't see color. Everyone's human. I don't see color. Those are going to be the people that are the most upset by this. And if color doesn't matter, then why can't we be Black? What's the difference? If we're all the same, then can I call myself Black? And could a Black person call themselves white? Self-identify. If you have a hard time with that, it's because you want to be a part of a system that wants to put people in categories and oppress them or privilege them accordingly. But I want to get back to what's the heart of this whole phenomenon is just radical love. Even though there's parts of this that are kind of, I think, stirring the pot a little bit, I hope for people to think deeper. Honestly, at the core of it, it's just pure love. This is not like a fake thing. People are genuinely like pulling people into their families. I've spent all of this whole week since this has popped off in DMs with people, exchanging phone numbers. I've been FaceTiming with people. I've been collaborating with people. We've been founding foundations and charities and organizations that are going to serve underserved populations. We are leveraging our networking and our knowledge and our experiences, and we're putting them all together to do greater good in the world. Meanwhile, also, like, loving on each other and getting to know each other. I genuinely have some new amazing best friend level people now as part of my network and in my contacts. I have Black aunties texting me every night saying, I hope you sleep well, sweetheart, like praying over you, love you. And they're genuine, and I'm texting it right back. Thank you, auntie, I love you so much. May God bless you and keep you and shall you, just like, all of it, right? It is just an absolute love fest. And of course, here or there's been some people trying to ruin it, like some people who just have like too much fear or hate or whatever in their hearts to, you know, be a productive part of this movement. But by and large, it has been this outpouring of love and support, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this kind of moment in history. I know that it might seem like a small thing, but I do think this is going to be something that ripples already. I've been getting messages from people in South Africa, from people in Australia, from people in Europe, from people in Asia, being like, hey, can we fly into the US to go to a cookout? I'm ginger. They're organizing their own get-togethers and cookouts and everything. So this is going to ripple. It's also going to go beyond the Black and redheaded community because love benefits everybody. So please, even if you're not in either community, boost these posts, give love to it, because this is a love revolution and everyone will be brought into the love fold of the human family. And then find ways to get involved. If you're not a ginger or a black person, find a way to somehow get on this train with us.
The redheads are black trend, I want to talk about it because I did not think so many redheads would come on the internet and share all of their stories. My eyes are literally watering right now because I think it's so crazy that our entire childhood we were hated, we were bullied, like we were made fun of for anything possible, like our freckles, our hair, the color of our skin, like being so pale. Like, it is so crazy because obviously redheads are very rare, so there's typically not many of them. In my elementary, I want to say I maybe had 2 in my grade, if that, or 1, like I don't even know. But I do know my entire childhood I was bullied for having red hair, I was bullied for freckles, I was bullied for being pale, I was bullied for being different. And I always remember like going to the grocery stores and stuff, and the older ladies would always compliment my hair and always tell me like how pretty I was and never to dye it. But of course, as a kid, like, I'm different, and it hurts. It hurts to know that everybody around me called me the devil, like told me that I have no soul, told me that I was a witch. Like, the amount of bullying I got, it is crazy because everybody's like, oh, it really wasn't that bad. But I'm reading these comments and it was so bad. Like, the stories that people said, like, it's all the same for all of us redheads. And I think it's crazy because redheads would not have this confidence if the one lady did not post that video saying redheads are black. And when it first took on the internet, everyone thought it was funny, but now everybody is realizing that redheads really were bullied. Redheads really were hated. Like, it is honestly so crazy to me. I can't believe I'm making a video of this, but the amount of other redheads that have felt the way that I felt makes me so sick to my stomach, because we're all humans. It's crazy that us redheads did not feel wanted by nobody. And I honestly didn't even know that it was that bad. I knew it was bad for me growing up, but I didn't know it was this bad for every redhead. I don't want to cry. But I am so happy to see all of the redheads on TikTok right now, on all over social media, talking about how happy they are, how they love how everybody who talked down on them wants to be them, how everybody's trying to dye their hair, like trying to get this color. Like, they're spending thousands and thousands of dollars trying to become us. But back then it was a problem. But now you're putting on fake freckles. Now you're dyeing your hair red. Like, it is so crazy, the society that we live in. And it's just blows me away because this is something that really nobody knows about. Like, unless you're a redhead, like, you don't understand. Does that make sense? When she posted that redheads are black video, redheads literally woke up from having no soul to having the most soul, I swear to you. Like, everybody has been texting me talking about, like, have you seen the new trend? Like, have you seen, like, this about redheads? Like, everybody has been blowing me up about that because, you know, obviously I have red hair. And I'm just like, yes. And it's crazy that it took this one video for people to realize, like, oh my gosh, yeah, you know? And it's even crazier. I want to know how the people who bullied us, how they feel. How do you feel right now? Because I'm not going to talk down on you. I was talked down on enough, and I don't wish that upon anybody, but I hope you're having the day you deserve. Crazy because my entire, like, childhood, while I was also being bullied, I had friends who would always tell me, like, Sophie, you're an inside out Oreo. Like, Sophie, you weren't supposed to be white. Like, and I'm so proud of all of the other redheads and gingers sharing their stories on the internet and allowing themselves to be vulnerable and express that, because that really is something that is hard. And I'm proud of you, and let's just continue greatness and keep going. And redheads are beautiful, redheads are perfect, and most importantly, we're invited to the cookout.